Donald Trump's lawyers definitely did not have a good week in court this past week. Several Trump aides testified, and one of them even broke down on the stand, crying, saying, "Sorry, sir." But of course, the real damning testimony of the week came from Stormy Daniels' Stephanie Clifford herself. And at one point, Donald Trump's lawyer, Susan Nischels, actually got in trouble with the judge for badgering the witness even after an objection to the line of questioning had been sustained. So here's what happened. You had Donald Trump lawyer, again, Susan Nischels. She is asking Stormy Daniels, who is on the stand under oath, a question. And the question, by the way, contains a profanity, just so you know, but I'm going to read it. Question was, "You recall you did an interview and said the claims you had sex with President Trump was bullshit." At which point, prosecutors jumped up and said, "Objection." The judge said, "Sustained." So at that point, even people who have not gone to law school understand that once an objection is issued and the judge says sustained, you can't ask that question anymore. Like, it's done. Trump's lawyer apparently didn't know that. And so she asked again. She goes, "But do you remember?" At which point, the judge, Juan Merchan, had to angrily once again say, "Sustained." Then he had to pause the trial to call both sides up to the bench for a little private conversation about how you conduct yourself in the courtroom after an objection is sustained. That, forget the testimony. That is absolutely devastating for the defense because it does several things here. First and foremost, most obvious, it pisses off the judge. You don't ever want to piss off the judge. That is like the one person in the courtroom who you want to make sure you keep happy at all times. The second thing it tells us is that Donald Trump is getting through to his lawyers. He wants them to be more aggressive. He wants them to go after these witnesses. And by God, they're listening to his advice. They're ignoring their common sense. They're ignoring their legal training. And they're just trying to do what they think is going to make Donald Trump happy. The third thing this does is it leaves a lasting impression on the jury for multiple reasons. First, you asked a question that was completely out of line and, of course, not related to what is actually going on in the case. You are trying to confuse the jurors, and you got in trouble for that. Two, even after that objection was sustained, you did it again, which tells those jurors you don't have any respect for the rules of the courtroom. That's a big, big problem. So if Donald Trump's lawyers are finally taking his advice and being far more aggressive, right, to hell with the rules, we're going to do whatever we want to do, then they're in serious trouble. This is not a show, right? This is not reality TV. This is not a legal drama on primetime. This is a real, actual criminal trial where Donald Trump could end up spending years in prison, possibly, given his age and health, the rest of his life. And his lawyers would rather put on a show for the media, for the cameras, for the attention that comes after every day of the trial, rather than trying to convince the jury that he didn't do what he was charged with doing. They're putting on a show instead of putting up a defense, and that's not going to end well for Donald Trump when this is all over. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Fair and Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.